Breaking news, rapper Lil Durk is charged in a for hire plot.
Lil Durk's trial has been rescheduled by the judge, allowing for a house arrest release. According to today's news, Chicago rapper Durk's murder for hire trial has been rescheduled for August 25, 2026. In a huge victory for Lil Durk, 3 of his co-defendants in the King Von vengeance case have moved to have their charges removed from his trial. The prosecution won't be able to discredit Durk to the jury for hanging out with known criminal gang members if he goes to trial alone as opposed to with the other members.
That's what Diddy did. He's basically saying all this evidence y'all got against Durk got nothing to do with me. Why you got me charged with Durk? And that doesn't mean he's going against Durk. That just means he wants his case severed. And I'm telling you, if it's severed, it helps Durk. Because one of the main connective tissue to this conspiracy is saying that Durk told Diddy to hire. Diddy's saying, I ain't get told to hire nobody, and I ain't hiring nobody. What are you talking about? Why would I hire someone? That's his thing.
But postponing the trial until August creates an opportunity to release Lil Durk from house arrest. According to the report, Durk's attorney filed documents for a house arrest arrangement at the conclusion of the Chicago rapper's court appearance today. To make sure he stays inside his house at all times and keeps an eye on his actions, the rapper is even proposing to cover an officer's wages. But the prosecution refused to allow Durk to win the court case. To demonstrate Durk's desire for vengeance, the judge allowed the prosecutors to present any evidence against Durk, including video of King Von's death.
Testimony and video surveillance surrounding the death of King Von, and the motion to exclude this evidence was denied, meaning the judge is going to allow witnesses to testify about and allow the video of King Von's to be played at the trial. And this is important because prosecutors wanted to use this evidence to argue that King Von's is the reason or motive as to why Durk offered this bounty on Quando Rondo. And so with this ruling, the jury will get to see and hear about all of that.
There are 2 reasons why they are permitting it. One was that many operations rejoiced in Von's passing. They asserted Lil Durk was inspired by this to go out and exact revenge.
That considering the back and forth that y'all have had in your own ways, how did you feel?
So I kind of happy.
You were happy?
Can I say I was kind of happy? No, seriously, I was though. It was up. That, you know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, he did. But I was happy as when I found out Von was dead. I cooked for the whole day. For all the people I
When you looked at King Von getting, how did you feel? Considering the animosity between you guys up to that point.
Like my real first action.
Yeah.
Thought I was happy.
You're happy.
I was happy.
But the second justification for displaying King Von's passing, because the judge only permits the use of specific lyrics against Lil Durk. They be on my page like slide for Von, the lyrics say. They must be making fun of me. You guys simply aren't aware that's how things should be. Hence, when Lil Durk displays the slide for Von's own remarks, they will be related to his conversation with DJ Academics.
Slide for Von comments. I don't know if people still say it. They used to say it, but you also mentioned a song. They be like, they be saying slide for Von. I think they trolling me. Yo, by the way, that song is fire. I ain't gonna lie.
For some reason, I just don't see the comments no more. For some odd reason. I don't know. Might be the water.
Prosecutors will have more clout if he brings it up in an interview, since it demonstrates his complete awareness of the slide for Von's remarks followed by a song's lyrics. Don't respond to things with Van is the next line, and I'm like, screw it. You're seeing hallucinations. Get your stick now. They're dropping places. I'm finishing it. F tweeted, the feds are coming. We're sliding. This supports Durk's entire motivation, according to their claims, which was to ignore Von's remarks, grab his guns, and finish the job.
Is on for 3 people who police say at a Savannah rapper, a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles, and cameras captured the aftermath.
This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
Lyrics can be used against you in court, despite what many people believe. Although it doesn't happen very often, when it does, it's a serious issue. Lil Durk's attorneys would argue that he isn't receiving fair treatment. According to the document, Durk has been held in a special housing facility without following the proper procedures since August 29, 2025, and the Chicago rapper's legal team has requested a status hearing. For 23 hours a day, Lil Durk is confined to a tiny jail cell that barely has enough space for one bed, a toilet, and a sink. The commissary is not accessible to him. He is not allowed to make in-person social visits and is only allowed to make one phone call per month. He was initially punished for owning an Apple Watch by being placed in special housing. Durk's lawyers asserted that the Unit Discipline Committee has yet to analyze it to decide on appropriate disciplinary action, which typically takes place within 5 working days. Even the prisoners in Durk's cell block called those who were involved in Durk's case.
They got Lil Durk in a hole for basically some BS, and right now we're gonna show the paperwork. They saying that he was caught with a cell phone, and basically that's not true. They trying to keep him in a hole, do a lot of things that they shouldn't be doing or whatever, but they're trying to make a point because they saying that me and him is privileged and we got so many things going on, and it's a lot of BS.
As a result, Durk's crew wrote, "Crazy how you have to wait until it's dark out to see who's really with you," in his article. It's evident that Durk feels alone at the moment, and scholars acknowledge that everyone has abandoned him.
I wouldn't be surprised if some of the went on tour with, did songs with, called you their brother, their twin. I wouldn't be surprised if these rappers try to Indian up. These are down low and dirty. And I think this is what, I think Durk right now is thinking that, man, I thought I was just with a whole bunch of real. No, you weren't. No, you weren't. And I feel bad for Durk. When King Slime got locked up, there was a whole parade. Free him! Free him! Free him! Oh, nah. Everybody would post details of the case. How is this humane? How could they do this? Yo, free... not Smurf. No, free Slime. Durk got locked up. They might give that half a bar. Free Smirk. And they moved the... I'll give credit. I have heard some of these guys have sent lawyers. Good for that, but Smirk is in there, man, realizing the world don't stop spinning because you locked up.
That may get a half bar. Feel free to grin. They also moved the "I'll offer credit." Some of these men have reportedly sent attorneys, I've heard. Well done on it. But dude, Smirk is in there, learning that just because you locked up, the world keeps spinning. However, scholars claim that because Durk has learned certain lessons, he won't be the same once he's released from prison.
The Durk y'all loved when he was free, if he gets back out again, he'll never be that Durk. I'm gonna tell you why. He done learned a lot of lessons. This is me assuming, nothing he's told me. But the things that he did for others, y'all know when he came on my podcast, right? And he said, man, your Gunna's a snitch, I can't Gunna. Man, that. I don't care, I love Thug. He said that because Thug told him. Yo, what Durk is realizing, Durk is a great soldier, but nobody looked at him like a leader. Durk was willing to move on behalf of the people he's loyal to when they get locked up. When he locked up, they might drop him as a bar in a song, but...
However, prosecutors presented damaging claims against Lil Durk in court, pointing to a 2022 photo where he's seen posing with roughly $1 million in cash, taken just weeks after Quando Rondo's crew was allegedly targeted and Lil Pad was killed. Listen to this. According to reports, the state claims Durk put up a $1 million bounty on Quando Rondo that same year. Court documents further allege that the defendant relied on close associates to line up individuals who would travel to Southern California on August 18, 2022, with the intent to target Quando Rondo. Prosecutors argue that, consistent with an alleged promise of payment, a co-defendant identified as Wilson sought out participants by offering a $1 million reward on behalf of another defendant,
banks in exchange for flying to Los Angeles to carry out the act. They also stated that certain alleged co-conspirators were compensated in other ways, including opportunities tied to music videos and lyrical shout-outs after the incident. One example they highlighted was Durk's track Block is Hot, which they suggested functioned as a form of reward. Hold up, the prosecution didn't stop there. Writing in filings that during Durk's trial, they expect multiple cooperating witnesses to testify that he orchestrated the incidents. Clearly, the pressure appears intense, as courtroom observers reported that he looked noticeably slimmer and had cut his signature dreads. In addition, the judge announced during the hearing that several motions filed by Durk's legal team seeking dismissal were denied. However, the court did take the bill of particulars motion under advisement, a detail that one attorney present in the courtroom described as significant.
I'm a lawyer, and I just learned that the rap artist Lil Durk just had his motion to dismiss his for hire case denied. To be honest, I'm not that surprised. Let me tell you guys something. There's only two ways that Lil Durk is rocking out of that federal courtroom on 2 feet. A jury of 12 people says that he is not guilty, or President Trump pardons him. There's no other way that Durk is walking out of that court free. That judge is not going to be dismissing any key evidence. He's not going to be dismissing any motions. He's not going to do anything that significantly helps Lil Durk walk out of that courtroom without having a trial. Now, how and why am I so sure of this? Well, here's the first thing I want to tell you. Most federal judges used to be federal prosecutors, exact prosecutors that are prosecuting Durk. A lot of judges used to stand in that very position. Federal prosecutors can be very biased people, and very rarely, once they put on that black robe and become a judge, do they get rid of those biases, okay? That judge very likely probably thinks that Durk is guilty. He just can't be the one to actually say it.
Now, hold up, because while emotions were running high online, something important happened in court. Since the bill of particulars motion was taken under advisement, it left a window open for another bond attempt. That possibility gave Durk's father real hope after what he described as a strong presentation to the judge. Speaking outside the courtroom, he said this was the third bond hearing for his son, and that this time felt different. According to him, the judge was fair, neither siding with the prosecution nor the defense, but focused on justice. He explained that the judge carefully reviewed the arguments and would issue a decision within days regarding bond. The family, he said, felt encouraged by how the hearing unfolded. He asked supporters, friends, and fans to continue keeping them in their prayers, and he closed with faith, saying that God willing, they're hoping for a ruling that turns things in their favor. But hold up, the prosecutors are now claiming there's a cooperating witness in the case, and they say this person turned over group chat messages from alleged members. That revelation sparked a fresh wave of headlines. Lil Durk is reportedly facing federal allegations that he plays targets on certain O-Block affiliates over claims they didn't respond after King Von's death. Prosecutors say they intend to bring in testimony from someone who claims Durk gave direct instructions. The filing suggests there was tension between Durk and an O-Block member known as Muna Duke, tied to frustrations about retaliation, which pushed commentators like DJ Academics and Whack 100 to weigh in publicly. Academics basically argued that while some details look suspicious, like certain messages and travel moves, there's no direct text that clearly says, "Go get Quando." Whack countered that the key issue isn't a message, it's the cooperating witness they claim has already been working with authorities. He emphasized that if someone is talking, prosecutors may not need much more. And according to discussion around the paperwork, one alleged cooperator initially denied there was any bounty connected to Quando's ring, but later changed that position. That shift alone has people raising eyebrows. Now listen to this. Another name reportedly entered the conversation, Vonnie. Court records were updated to reflect that he is no longer in prison custody, suggesting possible house arrest or halfway house situation. What made it even more dramatic is that Vonnie allegedly texted a friend details about trying to accept a plea tied to murder for hire statutes, calculating potential guideline points that could reduce his exposure to around 5 to 7 years. He reportedly wrote that he couldn't risk going to trial and didn't want to end up like others who cooperated and disappeared from public view. If accurate, that kind of message can shift the temperature in a federal case fast. But that's not all.
There were reports that another individual, identified as Ted, the brother of an alleged affiliate, is also speaking with federal authorities. Body camera footage circulating online appears to show him emotional and pleading during questioning after being arrested on a firearm-related charge at a store. According to reports, he was detained, placed in a holding area, and later spoke with officers while visibly distressed. Supporters of Durk argue that panic in an interrogation room doesn't equal credible testimony. Still, the possibility of multiple cooperating witnesses has reportedly led defense attorneys to request additional time while adjusting bond proposals. And that's the part that changes everything, because in federal cases, it's not always about one piece of evidence. It's about the bigger picture they're trying to paint.